Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor S.P. Singh from Faculty of Management Studies, Gurukul Kangdi University, Haridwar. Today we are going to study Module 6 on measurement and scaling. After studying this module, you shall be able to know the meaning of measurement and scaling, understand the types of data, comprehend the sources of measurement errors, understand the features of a good measurement, and become aware of the scaling designs. Measurement in research is composed of allocating numbers to empirical events, conforming to a set of rules. There is a three-level process picking up observable empirical events using numbers or symbols to denote aspects of the event and applying a mapping standard to rectify the observation to the symbol. Concepts used in research may be categorized as objects or as properties. Objects contain the things of common experience, while properties are the features of the objects like weight, height, posture, attitudes and intelligence, leadership ability, and class affiliation or status. Various such properties of a person can be measured in a research study. Data types. The widely accepted types of data are nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. The nominal data divides a set into mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive categories. Nominal classification may contain of any number of different groups if the groups are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Nominal scales have the least force of the four data types since they suggest no order or distance relationship and have no arithmetic origin. Since the only quantification is the number count of cases in each category, the researcher is confined to the use of mode as the measure of central tendency. Nominal scales are particularly worthy in exploratory work where the objective is to reveal relationship rather than secure definite measurements. This kind of data is also used extensively in survey and other ex post facto research when data are categorized by major groups of the universe. Classification like respondents' marital status, gender and exposure to a certain experience exist in great number. The ordinal data includes the characteristics of nominal scale and an indicator of order. The use of an ordinal scale indicates a statement of greater than or less than or equal to without mentioning how much greater or less. An ordinal scale is higher in terms of power of measurement. The simplest ordinal scale is a ranking. When a market researcher asks a consumer to rank 5 kinds of beer from most preferred flavor to least preferred flavor, he or she is inquiring you to generate an ordinal scale of preference. Ordinal data would utilize non-parametric statistics including median and mode rank order correlation, non-parametric analysis of variance, Modeling techniques can also be applied to ordinal data. Interval scale. An interval scale is an approved quality level survey rating scale. When someone is asked to rate his satisfaction with a piece of software on a 7-point scale starting with dissatisfied to satisfied, one is employing an interval scale. It is so because it is assumed to have same distance points between each of the scale components. We can interpret differences in the distance along the scale. This is opposite to an ordinal scale where differences in order are only talked about, not differences in the degree of order. Interval scales are defined by metrics such as logarithms. In these cases, the distances are well known, equal, but they are rigorously explained on the basis of metric used. Interval scale data commonly use parametric statistical techniques including mean and standard deviation, correlation or regression, analysis of variance, factor analysis, and a complete range of advanced multivariate and modeling techniques. Ratio scale. A ratio scale is the highest degree of measurement, is not usually accessible in social research. The factor that decidedly explains a ratio scale is that it has a real 0 point. The easiest example of a ratio scale is the measurement of length. The excellent way to compare internal and ratio scales is to observe temperature. The centigrade scale has a 0 point, however it is an arbitrary one. The Fahrenheit scale has its identical point at -320, so even though temperature glances at it as a ratio scale while it is an interval scale. Sources of measurement errors. There are 4 major sources of error: the respondent, the situation, the measurer, and the instrument. The respondent. Opinion difference will come from relatively stable characteristics of the respondent that affect the scores, which include employee status, ethnic group, membership, and nearness to plants. Many of these dimensions will be anticipated in the design, but others of a less obvious nature will not be. A traumatic experience of a given respondent had with an organization or its personnel may turn a respondent reluctant to express robust feelings containing negotiation or may have little understanding of the company, but be unwilling to accept ignorance. This reluctance can lead to an interview of guesses. Respondents may also suffer from temporary factors like fatigue, boredom, anxiety, or divert concentration. These restrict the capability to reply accurately and fully. Hunger, impatience, or general variation in mood may also have an impact. Any condition that places a pressure on the interview causes grave effects on the interviewer-respondent rapport. If another person is present, that person can disturb responses by joining in, by diverting attention, or only by presence. If the respondents believe anonymity is not ensured, they may have reluctance to express certain feelings. Intercept interviews are not to draw detailed responses, while in-house interviews are more usually done. The interviewer can twist responses by rearranging the sequence of words, paraphrasing, or changing the sequence of questions. Conventional in outward look and action inserts bias, inflections of voice, and conscious or unaware prompting with smiles, nods, and so forth may inspire with confidence or dissuade certain replies. Careless mechanical process checking of the incorrect response or inability to record full replies will clearly twist results. In the data analysis stage, wrong coding, reckless tabulation, and erroneous statistical calculation may bring in further errors. The instrument. An imperfect instrument can create distortion in two major ways. First, it can be too confusing and vague. The use of difficult words and syntax beyond the understanding of the respondent is representative. Leading questions, unclear meanings, built-in defects, and several questions suggest the width of problem. The features of a good measurement. A tool should be an accurate indicator of what we are interested in measuring. There are three major criteria for evaluating an instrument, including validity, reliability, and practicality. Validity refers to the extent to which a test measures what we actually wish to measure. A widely accepted classification of validity consists of content, criterion related, or construct. Content validity, the space to which a measure covers adequately the topic under study is referred to as the content validity. Content validity is the representativeness or sampling adequacy of the content of a measuring instrument. If the instrument contains a sample which is representative of the population of the subject matter of interest, content validity is satisfactory. In order to assess the content validity of an instrument, one must first consent on the elements constituting adequate inclusion of the problem. Content validity is basically judgmental. The items of a test must be studied, each item being weighed for its presumed representative quality of the universe. This implies that each item must be evaluated for its supposed relevance to the property being measured, which is no easy task. Criterion related validity reflects the success of measures used for prediction or estimation. The researcher may desire to predict an outcome or estimate the existence of a current behavior or condition. Criterion related validity is examined by making a comparison of test or scale scores with one or more external variables or criteria believed to measure the attribute under study. One is more concerned with the predictive validity than what the test measures. In criterion related validation, the fundamental interest is often greater in the criterion than in the predictors. The higher the correction, the better the validity is. All tests are predictive as they predict a kind of outcome about some present or future state of affairs. Aptitude tests predict future achievement. Achievement tests tend to predict current and future achievement and competence, and intelligence tests are able to predict ability to learn solving problems. The greatest problem of criterion related validity is the criterion itself. Obtaining criteria may even be difficult. Cronbach has particularly stressed the decision aspects of criterion related validation. A high test in criterion related validity assists researchers take successful decisions in assigning people to treatments, conceiving treatments broadly. Construct validity. A researcher generally starts with the constructs or variables entering into the relation. He might have discovered a positive correlation between two measures. The researcher wants to know why this relation exists, what is behind it. He necessarily knows constructs entering the relationship. Predictive validity. The predictive validity involves the ability of a phenomena measured at one point of time to predict another phenomena in future. If the correlation coefficient between the two is high, measure has a high predictive ability. As an example, consider the use of the common admission test to shortlist candidates for admission to the MBA program in a business school. The CAT scores are supposed to predict the candidate's aptitude for studies. Reliability. Reliability is related with consistency, accuracy, and predictability of the measure. It refers to the space to which a measurement process is free from random errors. The reliability of a scale may be measured using the two methods: test, retest reliability and split half reliability. Test, retest reliability. In this method, measurements are repeated of the same respondents using the same measure under similar conditions are taken. A very high correlation between the two scores indicates that the scale is reliable. A split half method is applied in case of multiple item measure. The number of items is divided on random basis into two equal parts and a correlation coefficient between the two is computed. A high correlation indicates that the internal consistency of the construct takes to greater reliability. Another measure used to test the internal consistency of a multiple item scale is Cronbach alpha. The Cronbach alpha computes the average of all possible split half relation. The Cronbach alpha computes the average of all possible split half reliabilities for a multiple item scale. This coefficient demonstrates whether the average score of all split half of the reliabilities converge to a certain point or not. Friends, in this module you have studied the meaning of measurement and scaling, the types of data, the sources of measurement errors, the features of a good measurement and the scaling designs. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.